Hi. How's it going? I'm in the kitchen again. I've had some requests from people wanting to know what kind of snacks I eat and, what's healthy. Because, my videos are mostly, my kitchen videos are mostly to promote good health. And that's why I've got here some of the things that I eat on a regular basis. But at the same time, sometimes when I'm out on an adventure and I could be in the woods, I could be somewhere where there's no food or water, but mostly I carry always a goodie bag with some snacks and some yummy things. So there might be a bit of background noise because got a lot of people outside seeing it's beautiful. Okay, now, first thing on my list is I've got here popcorn. A bowl of popcorn. Now, this is just kernel popcorn. Nothing added. No salt, no butter, nothing. And the way I do it is in my popcorn machine. This is a hot air popcorn machine. You can get them basically at any store that sells kitchen appliances. And to me, this is the best way to make the popcorn. Because there's nothing added. And it pops up nice and fluffy. Now, where the health part comes in. When you make your popcorn and it's still hot, I don't add butter or margarine. I add olive oil. Pure virgin, extra virgin olive oil. You just drizzle that over. And then, once you've done that, instead of putting salt, you can go salty or sweet. But first, you want to go salty. And you want to add a savory note. You can spices. I have here some Greek spice. You can add some spice spice. Paprika. I have here celery salt. Or you can add some garlic salt, or even you can go fancy and add some grated garlic. You be the judge of how you want to make it healthy for yourself. You can add, if you have no problems with salt, like high blood pressure or anything, you can always add a little bit of low sodium salt, to give it that little something. But it's better if you don't. And the benefits of the popcorn, when you're having the popcorn, it's because it's high in fiber, has antioxidants, like basically everything I'm going to show you here has some. It provides energy, and it's good for your bones, healthy bones. And it helps to lower cholesterol. But that's only if you make it the way I say, like healthy. Another thing that I do highly recommend, if you have no allergies to nuts, I've got here pistachios, like in my previous videos. I'm strong on pistachios because they're rich in nutrients. They have healthy fats, fiber, protein, and they're good for the digesting. They also help to promote good eye health. But again, if you're going to get pistachios, either get the ones with no salt or low salt. And then you can do the same thing with the pistachios. You can add spices too. A little bit of chili powder if you like it spicy. Or again, the paprika or whatever. But that's why, if I'm going to go nuts, because a lot of times I go nuts for nuts, I'm going to pay the extra price for the pistachios because they're better for you. So that's why. And another thing too, when you're doing healthy, like if you're going to bring snacks, you want to bring some fruit and vegetables, if possible, if you can. I always have an apple. I always make sure to have an apple to bring with me. you're going to want to have two separate bags, because you're not going to want to add the apples with the popcorn. Have some apple slices that you can bring with you on your trip or wherever you're going. But also, I like to bring a carrot or I just slice up some carrots. One thing I'm going to try too is I'm going to try and cook them in the oven one time. Like sort of dry them. I know you can get dehydrated fruits and vegetables, but I'm going to try something one day and make my own. So you got the carrots, and I got some celery. Oh. Good to bring some celery too. It's good for hydration also. Like to drink, you can bring yourself some coconut water. You know, I like that, coconut water. My water, coconut water. We're talking also fruits here. Also got here some watermelon. I sliced up a watermelon because that's good to have on a hot day. We'll have some watermelon. One thing also I'm going to try when I get a chance, I'm going to try and extract the sugars or the natural sugars from the watermelon and make like a syrup. So we can put that on the popcorn. Yeah, you can use that as the sugary, sweet popcorn flavor. And the coloring, it'll turn it like a, I would say like a pink almost. But also, maybe by thinking of this, how about beets? You know, you cook down beets and get the beet syrup, and of course that's sweet, and it's going to turn your popcorn pink. Just an idea, you know. Instead of using sugars, you know, or honey. You can go with honey too. That's perfect. You know, add some honey. You can dress it up and make a trail mix by adding some cereal and some nuts. But also talking about cereal, you know, the cereal is also good for you because of the fiber and the vitamins that it contains. But get only the whole grain cereal, you know. Here, the list for cereal: fiber, protein, whole grain, and low on sugar. Don't get the cereal, if you're talking healthy, don't get the cereal. You know, the certain cereal that has all these marshmallows You know? All the colored marshmallows. You know? That's like basically saying I'm eating my cereal with candy. So, what I do is I remove the marshmallows or the candy. It's too much. And then you can control how much of them you're eating if you want to be naughty. You know, so you don't have to do this. No, I'm just saying. It's what I do sometimes. But getting back to the fruits and vegetables, like I said, the antioxidants, but also all the vitamins that they contain. Vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B, B12. All those vitamins you need to promote good health and fight off disease. Yeah. So, also got here. Well, this is not really a snack. This was for my lunch, but tomatoes. Tomatoes also are very good for you. Yes. You have tomatoes. They also help for your breathing. So, it's good if you can every once in a while, you know, to have some tomatoes. With your salad, if you're having a salad. Yeah. And also, talking about snacks, if you want something that's a little bit more hearty, but at the same time that you can bring with you no matter wherever you go, get some hard-boiled eggs. I've pre-cracked them, you can tell. And eggs, contrary to the myths that they say, eggs have good cholesterol. They say they're bad for you. I don't find that. Especially if you're cooking them, you know. That way, you won't risk getting any bacteria or anything, or E. coli. So, let's get yourself some hard-boiled eggs, because you can't bring soft-boiled eggs. Well, you can if you're going on a picnic, I guess. But not if you're going to hit the trails. Not a good idea. Yeah. This one's a little bit harder to peel. Again, eggs are full of vitamins too. traffic outside. So there, got some eggs. So basically, this is basically some of the snacks or healthy snacks you can bring with you. There's a whole other bunch of things too out there that are pre-made, but are they healthy? Read the label first, because like I'm saying, you want to try and get as much as you can the healthy salts and the healthy sugars. Stay away from all the fats and, things that are not good for you. That, greasy stuff, fried stuff. I try and limit the intake of those things as much as I can. But of course, I'm only human. And of course, I'm going to cheat every once in a while. So, and to finish everything off here, another thing too, yogurt. I got here, it's blueberry and blackberry. I love blueberries and blackberries. But, again, these ones contain sugar. But it's because also they come in the snack packs. But they're good for the go. And they're good also for your tummy, your digestion. Anything else that I had marked down on my list? Oh yeah. That dark chocolate. Sometimes what I do is I buy some almonds in dark chocolate, because dark chocolate is good for your brain. It's good, promotes brain cell healing, but also it gives you the comfort, sort of like a melatonin, if you want. And it helps to make you happy, but also it promotes good sleeping. So if you want to have a good night's sleep, you could always take some dark chocolate before going to bed. It's also good for you. So that's basically my video for today. If you haven't already tried some of these things, give it a go. And don't be afraid to experiment, like I said, to try and extract the good sugars and salts and sodiums and all that out of your food, so you can play with it with other types of food. That's what I like doing. So take care. Have some snacks. Have some dark chocolate. Help you relax. Maybe even while you're watching my videos. And, we love you. So, be catching you on our next adventure. Take care. Bye for now. Bye. Snacks. This doesn't make a good thumbnail. Olive oil.